Welcome back to the homestead, guys. I don't know about you, but for us, we are always trying to find cost-effective ways to both feed our family and be healthy at the same time. And one of our favorite cooking oils is grass-fed tallow. If you go to the store though, it is pretty pricey. So today we're going to show you how to do it at home. So I went ahead, I bought, I think this is 20 pounds of suet when we went down to town a few days ago to get our second dairy goat. And I'm gonna start this whole process by just defrosting this. So usually it will be frozen in big 5-pound bags or so. Defrost it, and then we're just gonna start by cutting this up in little pieces. We really like to use moose tallow, and we will be hopefully doing that in the fall if you get a moose, but this is just grass-fed beef tallow from the valley. So when you get your tallow, you're gonna see these little meaty bits, the grizzly bits, the bloody bits. You're gonna wanna cut those out. If you have dogs, they love this, so we like to keep this for the dogs. So you're gonna be gently simmering this down in a very heavy bottom stock pot, and you could grate the fat to get it really small. I just kinda eyeball the pieces and try to get them about 1 inch or 1/2 inch chunks. And what you're gonna wanna do is just keep it low. You wanna simmer it slightly, but you don't wanna boil it really hard, and you don't wanna burn it. We paid, I think, $2 a pound, but if you were in the lower 48, you could probably even get this cheaper, especially if you went right to the farm or the ranch. And this is gonna make quite a bit of tallow. And on top of that, once you render this down, you're gonna have what they call cracklings on the top, so you can eat those as well.
I have one of those.
A knife, a good knife.
Yeah, a nice one. Put the doggy bag over there?
Yeah.
Oh, these aren't bad.
You just want to kind of keep it on low. You don't want to burn it or boil it. You just want to kind of simmer this, and it's going to start melting down, and it's going to take a little bit to melt down. And once that happens, I like to do this for anywhere from 3 to 6 to even longer hours, however long it takes for that to all get cooked down. And then you're going to strain it, which we'll show you how to do. And one of the great things about tallow is that it is shelf stable, so you don't have to process this any further. You don't have to refrigerate it. You can just put this in some sterilized mason jars, capped tightly, and it will be just fine on the shelf. But tallow is a traditional cooking fat. It's obviously been used for a very long time because when people harvested an animal, you kept the fat. And it's wonderful to cook with. It's great in like a pie crust, frying things, making eggs, meat, whatever you got. Really good. On top of that, for skincare, we really like it for salve making because it seeps into that skin layer much better than, say, olive oil or another carrier oil. But it is nutrient dense, so it's rich in A, D, K, and E, and CLA, or conjugated linoleic acid, which is an anti-inflammatory. It's enzyme rich. Just a wonderful thing to consume, and you can make it so much cheaper at home. Okay, so we are gonna kind of keep an eye on this. I like to stir it around as they melt down so that nothing burns on the bottom. And then I will probably let this go about 3-ish hours, 4 hours, and then strain it. So we'll see how much this makes. That was about 20 pounds of beef suet. So we'll see what we end up with, which I think is gonna be pretty good. this is done. It's ready to get strained out. I am going to save these top parts. These are called cracklings and they are delicious. So we like to season these, maybe put some barbecue sauce on it and then put them back in the oven and kind of crisp them up. They're great snacks. So I'm just gonna scoop these out before I strain the tallow. I like to use a cheesecloth, but if you have like a wire mesh strainer, that's good too. The more you can get out, the better that's gonna stay on the shelf. You don't really want a lot of sediment in there. But I'm gonna call Dennis in to pour these in our mason jars. These are just sterilized mason jars. And all we're gonna do is pour it in while it's hot, and then that will solidify in the jars, turn white, and we're just gonna cap them. Keep going.
Just tuck it away.
And that's good. Perfect. Keep going and good. I think this is going to be a perfect amount of masons. Oh, 20 pounds of suet rendered down to about 13 pint mason jars of tallow. So we paid around $2 a pound for that suet. That was $40 for the whole thing, and then 13 of these comes out to about $3 a jar of tallow, which is a great cost compared to what you get this for in the grocery store. So I'm gonna put these caps on tight while they're hot. And then I'm gonna throw these in the pantry, and that's it. This is shelf stable. Awesome to have on hand. And we are gonna get started on some dinner. We're gonna make some sourdough flatbread, which we make a lot on the channel. If you watch it, you'll know that. And some king salmon fried in our tallow. It's a working kitchen. Okay, I need 3 more lids. I'm gonna go rustle those up. Okay, so for this flatbread recipe, I use sourdough discard. If you do not have a sourdough starter, we have a video on the channel that shows you how to make one very simply. This is actually pretty active, but I'm gonna use it anyway. I just dump like a good half a cup to a cup in a bowl. Then to that discard, to that inactive starter, I add about a cup of water. Mix it up really good until all that starter and water is nice and incorporated and you don't see any more lumps in there. And then at this point, I add about a tablespoon of salt. If you wanted to make this sweet, some honey in here is really good at this point to the liquid. I am gonna make this so I can knead it into a ball and then shape it into 4 different balls. I make about 4 flatbreads, big flatbreads with 1 batch of this. Add a little more flour to that. At this point, I'll just kind of flour the work surface and then start kneading it. And you don't have to knead it for any sort of set time. You don't really need any special techniques. I just do it until it forms a ball that I can cut. And then that's that. If it's sticky, just add more flour. See how that's kind of sticking still? More flour to it. I'm gonna feed my starters quickly, which is just adding flour and water. I don't measure or weigh anything really in sourdough. I like my starter to be kind of thicker in consistency, like a really, really thick pancake batter. Almost like that for a starter consistency is what I like. All right, we're gonna take some of our beautiful tallow and throw it in here. When this solidifies, it will be white and hard, but right now it's still golden and liquid. Tallow has to be our favorite cooking oil. It makes an awesome pie crust. We make, when the blueberry's in, we make these blueberry Pop-Tarts with a tallow crust that is Lena's absolute favorite. Done. Time for the salmon. Caught this at the Copper River on our dip netting trip a few weeks ago. Just gorgeous meat. King salmon has the most fat, I believe. Love it. Lena, dinner!
It looks delicious.
Thanks, Lene.
Thanks, Lane.
Go enjoy.
Fish cooked in tallow is great.
It's great. Love tallow. Well, hope you guys learned something about how to make cooking oil cost effectively at home and how to use it a little bit, and we will see you next time.